I've owned my Harley Davidson Roadster, the XL1200CX, for about a year and a half. And after much writing and contemplation, I finally listened to my backside. I've replaced the stock seat. Hello everybody, and welcome to Wheel Stories. The stock seat that came on my Harley Davidson Roadster, it's actually not that bad. It's a good looking saddle and matches the bike in terms of design. It's clean, it's narrow, and has a nifty tuck and roll type of pattern. And it feels like you're sitting on top of the bike, which is good for the Roadster. While it's decent on short rides, when you've been sitting in the saddle for hours, it gets a bit painful. That's why I decided to make a change. I chose to go with a solo seat because I don't ride this bike two up with my wife. The seat I selected is the Mustang Vintage Solo Touring Seat. I've owned this style of seat before with my Kawasaki 1500 Vulcan Classic. It was extremely comfortable on that bike. The seat receives positive ratings. I'm a little bit concerned that it may not look the best on the Roadster. It's not the sleekest design, built rather wide at about 12.5 inches at the back. I considered other Mustang models, the Fastback, the Tripper Solo, the Super Tripper, the Cafe Solo. All of these are great looking seats. But I settled on the vintage touring model because for me, comfort is the key. I will sacrifice looks for long, pain-free rides. Comfort is king. Time now to remove the stock seat and get down to the business of installation. The job is simple. Remove the fastener at the rear, lift up and disengage the seat tongue from the frame. Now here is a side-by-side look at the two seats, the stock and the Mustang. You can see the Mustang is wider at the back, broader, and perhaps a bit deeper near the lip. But they look about the same in terms of height. I'll be interested to see if I'm taller or shorter or seated farther back on the bike. Since the Mustang is a solo seat, I need to remove the plastic cap at the solo seat nut position. The seat came with a brand new nut that you insert from under the fender and secure with this plastic clip. The Roadster has tall shocks and makes things easy for removing and installing the seat nuts. I can easily get my arm under the rear fender. With a Sportster with slam shocks and less clearance, you need to use a zip tie or a narrow stick to slide the seat nut under the fender. There are videos on YouTube that show you how to get that done. I removed the seat nut used for the stock seat and replace it with a plastic cap with the HD logo to clean things up. Now I'm ready to install the saddle. Slide the seat tongue into the frame near the gas tank, press down, and line it up with a seat nut and install the fastener by hand. Again, this is an easy installation. One beer or soda pop and you are done. So here's what the seat looks like on the bike, and I'm actually kind of pleased. It's kind of handsome. It doesn't detract from the simple clean lines of the motorcycle. Now for the most important test. Let's go for a ride and see how this thing feels on my bottom side. Out on the road, my initial impression of the Mustang, I am pleased to report that the comfort level is very good, much improved from the stock Harley Davidson seat. When I owned my Kawasaki 1500 Vulcan with the Mustang saddle, I could ride for hours without any trouble, sometimes doing 400 to 500 miles in a day. Mustang has the touring posture dialed in on this seat. It's firm, hugs the contours of my butt for good support, gives me a relaxed feel, and even helps to suppress some of the bumps on the road. I believe that I am sitting at roughly the same height as the stock seat, maybe slightly back. I feel like the reach to the handlebars is a bit longer, but it's not too bad. I've had back surgery and occasionally suffer lower back pain and stiffness after riding my motorcycles, but I do believe this seat may help on that front. While the vintage touring saddle may look a bit wide and kind of big on this bike, it doesn't have the looks and narrow design of the other models. But again, I need a pleasant riding position with a snug, agreeable saddle for a more enjoyable ride. Time will tell. but for now I think I've made the right choice. The Mustang Vintage Solo Touring saddle is doing the trick. I'm happy. So, what can I say? I think I'm going to stick with this seat. Replacing the stock seat can be the most important modification that you make on a bike. Tell ya, I've learned after many years of riding. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. Until next time, for Wheel Stories, thanks for watching. Happy trails.